Hello all. Today we're going to be looking at MapWorks, which is the early alert intervention system that we use in the department. This is a demo site, so some of the buttons may not be exactly what we have during the year, and this is also for Heather, who's a demo hall director. So for you RAs out there, you won't have the exact same functions that Heather has, but we're still going to go through and do what you need to do during the school year with this. If you haven't taken MapWorks yet, well, first, shame on you, but second, MapWorks is a survey that we administer once to twice a year to look at how students are adjusting to college and to UNC. So it looks at academics, how they're doing in class, how they're doing in connecting with professors, but it also looks at social. So are they making friends? How are things with their roommates? Have they met their RA yet? And so it's a really great tool that we use so we can see how students are doing on a holistic level. So let's go ahead and log in here. All right, and so you can see this is our dashboard here. On here you can see our high priority students, open referrals, and non-respondents. For high priority students, those are students who have indicated a high interest in leaving the institution, students who are struggling with adjusting to the institution. And so these are students that should all be contacted either by you or your hall director and met with at some point by your hall director. For non-respondents, it's another number to check out. You're going to want that to be as close to 0 because the more students that do complete the survey, the more information we have for programming and just generally for helping with retention of students. So let's go ahead and go to student tracking here. All right, so here's your student tracking screen. This shows all your students. The risk indicator here is something your hall director will be paying close attention to. There's a lot of other information that isn't so important, but really for when you're using this, you're going to need to use a couple different functions here. So let's go and click, you see you can highlight a student, all right, and click on them and it opens up this. When you're logging contacts, you're going to go to activity and then log contact. When this screen opens, you're not going to have the option to do private, share with teams, or public. Yours will always be set as public, but let's just go ahead and say when you're logging your interactions with students, ran into Denise in the hallway. Okay, so in here you're going to log your contact. There will be more instruction on what those contacts will look like, again, during training. But when you have a conversation with someone, go ahead and log that. Talk about how they're doing academically, talk about how they're doing socially. Are they having roommate issues? Are they getting along with their roommate? Are they getting involved in the institution? Think about what makes a successful student and how you've been successful in the past, and then find ways really to incorporate that into your interactions with your residents. Then you have an opportunity to select a primary category. So obviously Denise is running into a couple different concerns, but it sounds like really the personal issues are more of the issue than academic. And so, it could be social connections, it could be, relationships having issues, or you can do other personal issues, which is kind of like a catch-all. And then select contact type. So in your interactions, we're asking you to interact in person with these students. And so this was an in-person meeting because you ran into Denise in the hallway. And then all you're going to do is just click save right there. And it'll post it right to Denise's, to her page. So let's go to activity again, and let's look at view activity. All right, and now you can see right here that on Denise's activity page, it has her interaction with you. All right, another way to look at students is by individual student. So with student tracking, it gives you your whole list. With individual student, it's more of an in-depth look at each one. You can still see all your students by clicking on that student tab on the left-hand side, and then just sorting through there. Again, this is going to give you talking points, so if you run into Denise, there may be issues that she's having academically. In her survey, there'll be weaknesses that pop up over here and strengths that are also popping up. So when you're talking with her, you can talk about weaknesses and strengths that may be going on. You can look at about the student, which gives you some more of the personal information there. Activity is any other interactions that she's been having. And then survey dashboard actually gives you, a better look at what her answers were on the survey. So you can see green arrows are things that are going well, yellow arrows are things that may not be going well or not well, and then red are areas of concern. So class attendance, is a concern for Denise. Commitment to institution, homesickness is an issue, as well as ability to pay next term's tuition fees. So when you're looking at the survey dashboard, again, in those interactions, you can really see, as an RA, which resources you can connect Denise to. All right, and then finally, you can click on all students, and this will take, so for you, it'll just be your community of students in here. But to see all of the results for the survey, you can hit Generate Report, and it'll take several minutes to load. All right, so after generating that report, you can see with all of your students what the top 5 issues were, perceptions of campus. And so when looking at programming, you can really base it right off of here, of what students say that they're needing more of, what they're hoping to get out of college, and really base it off of there. So again, this will be something to talk more with your hall director about. We'll talk more about this in training. But if you're looking at what all of those surveys are, you can hit all students and then generate report, and that'll give you the preview. Okay, just a quick recap again. When you hit home, you've got your main dashboard here. Student tracking will give you your entire list of students, and you can just click on any student, activity, log contacts, and that'll log your interactions with students. You can go individual student and go one by one to log contacts, clicking on that activity tab. And then all students will get you that report again. If you do have questions, again, ask your hall director, ask returning RAs, and hopefully we have a great year on MapWorks.